In a previous video, we took a look at the Robin figure from the Batman Forever wave from McFarlane Toys. And comparing it to the movie version, we could see that the paint choices didn't quite match what we saw in the movie. So I decided to customize it, and I'm going to tell you what I did in case you also want to customize your copy. So essentially we want to reduce the saturation of the colors of the figure and add a metallic sheen to it. First step is to wash the figure to get rid of any oil and residues from the factory. To do this, I just used water and dish soap. Now, a word of caution. The paint on the diaper piece, it's apparently not attached very well to the plastic. The red color came off during washing. So keep this in mind in case you have no plans of repainting the red parts of the figure. I disassembled the figure after heating it up with the hair dryer. For the green sections, I started with 2 coats of this brand of paint, Americana. It is the darkest shade of green that I could find. After applying 2 coats of this, I applied 1 coat of this green metallic paint, Folk Art. Now the idea is to apply 1 light coat, not quite a dry brushing, something more than that, more substantial than that, but not thick enough that you won't be able to notice the dark green underneath. Also, in a general sense, we don't want to apply too much paint because we want to be able to handle the figure afterwards and keep the articulation. The more paint we add, the more layers we add, the more we risk having a lot of friction between the pieces when articulating the figure, which would peel off the paint that we have added. So after the paint has dried, I applied 1 layer of Mod Podge coat, matte version. Don't worry about it being matte because the shine of the metallic paint will still shine through it. And there are multiple options for finishing coat. I find Mod Podge very convenient for me to use, and that's what I'm using. Keep in mind that Mod Podge is not water resistant, so you may prefer to use other options. Again, this is my preference. The belt, it was originally gold. I opted to repaint it bronze. In this case, the brand is Vallejo, and I used it not only on the belt but also on the collar of the figure and the chest emblem. Because the inside of the cape also has to match the collar and the belt, I applied this same paint on the inside of the cape. In theory, maybe this is not the best idea, but I decided to take the risk and it paid off. I started with the edges, being very careful not to accidentally paint the outside part of the cape. The paint didn't affect the cape, and it's just as malleable as before. I also took another risk and applied Mod Podge again to the cape to prevent paint transfer from the cape to the back of the figure once everything's assembled. Neither the paint or the Mod Podge affected on the flow of the cape, and also it didn't bleed through the other side, so the black section stayed blackened. The belt buckle in the movie has some green to it. I originally was going to ignore this because it's so small and I thought it was going to be difficult, but because of the raised nature of the sculpt, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Painting the green sections first and then going over it with the bronze color, trying to hit only the raised sections. For the reds, I used this French wine color. In retrospect, maybe I should have used a darker shade. If you do, let me know how it went. After 2 layers of this, just like before with the green parts, we apply 1 layer of this metallic paint. While it might look a bit pink before applying, I think it's the right choice. And I believe it may work better against that darker shade used as a base. Oh well, Now this one doesn't seem to be as shiny or as reflective as the green paint, despite being from the same brand. So after all this work, and after everything has dried, we can assemble the figure back again. The best part is that we can articulate the figure within reason. The elbow piece, the inside, rarely touches the other pieces when articulated, so the paint stays there, no problem. It's the back side that if you apply paint, it will come off. Luckily, the paint underneath, the green color from the factory, is close enough that it's not very noticeable. This is the inverse for the knees. It is the front part that will not keep the paint. The diaper piece doesn't keep the paint as well. It will tear if you try to move the leg forward or stretch it too much. So forget about replicating a pose like this one or having Robin sit on the upcoming Batmobile. So essentially don't be too rough with it, but I think the fact that we can articulate the figure at all is a huge victory. So these are the colors I used, plus the Mod Podge. Once again, I believe maybe the base red color could have been a shade darker, and I may revisit that part in the future, but for now, this is the end result. I believe the figure looks now closer to how he did in the movie, closer to the source material, and a little bit closer in style to the previous Batman figure from Batman Forever. So here are some comparison photos. Hopefully this helps if you are planning to customize your own figure, or maybe give you an idea to do your own thing. Now that I finished this custom, I fully expect McFarlane Toys to announce a new metallic version of the Robin figure. As I'm editing this video, I come across a video from Les Walker, a very talented customizer that also took a jab at customizing Robin. He has a bit of a different approach, opting for a different color palette. So if you're looking to customize your own figure, then maybe something like what Les Walker did might work better for you. Anyway, that is all for this video. Let me know if you are planning to do something similar with your figure, or if you plan to do something different, or if you're happy with the basic figure as it is. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.